Welcome, my friends, old and new, to learning a perfect American accent. Remember, your accent is already perfect. This might be fun in terms of some helpful tips for you to perfect your generic American accent, the quintessential American accent that we know and love from movies, television, and so much more, and for use in job interviews and a million other places until you decide that you'd either like to permanently adopt it or switch it on and off, or just have it for fun. Let's look at a fun vowel sound that I have here over on my screen. Height, light, fight, bright, night. These all rhyme, of course, but it doesn't even have to end in "ite." It could be line, rhyme is the same thing. Rhyme. It's interesting just how many different ways we have of spelling the exact same vowel sound. We can do E-I-G-H, I-G-H. We can do just I, then a silent E at the end. We can have a Y, then the consonant sound and a silent E. How else can we do it? Let's see. Sometimes it has an AI sound. I'm trying to think of an example right now. But sometimes you'll get AI. Not by itself, but in the middle of a word. Line. That's not a word. Line. But sometimes you'll get that ein sound that way. So what is I? Well, by itself, it looks like this. Like an old-fashioned person, or perhaps a Scottish or British person saying "I," meaning yes. But no one in America hardly ever says "I" anymore to mean yes. If we say "I" by itself, we mean the pronoun I, which means me or you if you're saying I, or me if I'm saying I and I'm not you, or am I? So that's the vowel I. So it's similar to other vowels that we've talked about, because it has a diphthong effect. So what's a diphthong? Again, a diphthong is where the vowel is not a consistent sound. So a consistent sound would be like ah in stop, as in stop this crazy machine, I'm gonna get dizzy, or something. Or so stop, you can hold that. You can hold stop. There's a little bit of a change in up and down in the vowel. Stop, maybe a little, but that's more up to the individual, up to the person. But a diphthong vowel is more differenter. That's not a real word, but here's why. Because with a diphthong, it's more like several different sounds combined together. So think of the word wow. You say, wow. Say, wow, that game called World of Warcraft, abbreviated as WoW, is quite a game. Not a perfect sentence, but wow. We actually have a whole bunch of vowels in one. We go wah, like we're going like potato. We go wah, like we're saying stop. And then we kind of go wah, like we're saying happy. So we're doing all these vowels one after another. Wow. And then we end it with oh, wow. But it's so fast and they're so seamless together. Seamless is a good word. That it just sounds like wow. And for that diphthong noise, you have to have the W at the end in the noise. It won't always be spelled that way, but you'll see that noise in noun, round, found. See, there's always that W at the end, isn't there? There's that W sound. But not all of them have the W sound in them. But wow, they don't all have it written, but they all it's audible. You can hear the W sound. With fight and bright and light, this is an example of a diphthong that has a Y sound at the end, like yeah, yeah, yellow, yellow, yeah, 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 yellow, yeah, yeah. That's Y is a funny consonant, because how do you make it? Yeah, it's yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can make a Y sound, but it's somewhere in the middle of the mouth, not far back, not at the very front. Yeah, sort of just behind the teeth, I think. Yellow. So why does Y matter? Y matters as a sound. Because first of all, it's an example of a letter where the sound is not pronounced when you say the letter. That's not an important distinction. There's no logical or consistent thing about the sound being in the letter and that making a big difference. It's just interesting. It's noteworthy because it usually is. In the letter M, you have a M sound. M. In, same thing. In O, certainly, at least one kind of O. And it goes on and on. But not always. Not always. B, you certainly have it. B, bzz. Buzz. We're just having fun with language. That's what we do. We go on English language adventures, and we learn American accents together. A perfect American accent. In fact, this is a pretty funny title for this. Let's learn an American accent, because no disrespect to people who English is a second language, but that title is written like in the kind of awkward way that someone learning an American accent or even learning English would write. It's awkward, it's clunky, it's funny. Let's make fun of it. It's okay to make fun of it because English is my first language. Therefore, I'm goofy for putting it in there. But if you make that kind of goof, you're doing fine. You're doing great. And that's whether English is your first language or not. I'm supposed to be good at it. It's a lot of my background in trade. So I have no excuse. Let's learn an American accent. It's not grammatically wrong. It's just awkward. That's okay. We don't mind too much. I digress, but that's what happens in an adventure. You get sidetracked. So why does Y matter? Because it's in light and bright. You say it at the end. There's a Y at the end. Light. For this diphthong to happen, you have to have a Y sound at the end, even though I don't know of any situations where you write the Y in there except for I. I'm sure there's others, but I can't think of any right now. But there's many ways of having this I sound, this diphthong, of having a wave of vowels. We can call it a vowel wave. I. It's technically one syllable. Light. One syllable. You open your mouth once. Light. I just kind of almost picked my own nose there. That was weird. But light. One syllable. But not really, because watch in slow motion. Light. You see all the stuff that went on there? All that gross specifics? That's what diphthongs do. They make you get into gross specifics. It's not a real term. Just made that up. So, line, rhyme, grime. Where does it really matter, though? It matters because diphthongs are particularly difficult to get correct if you're learning an American accent, because you basically have to learn to smush together a bunch of vowels in one to make it sound natural, to make it sound like you have a mastery over this language, over this dialect, over this manner of speaking. The cat wants to come up. Okay, that's fine. So let's practice a few more times. Line. Even if you can't split it into every single vowel, it starts with a little bit, kind of like the ow did. But it turns sideways as I think of it more quickly. Sideways meaning the mouth widens more quickly. If you had to hold it as a single sound, it would probably be la, but that'd be weird. Lan. It's almost like that's too wide open. Is this camera not focusing? What's going on? I don't know. This video might be crap anyway. Sorry about that. I'm tinkering with this camera and trying to get it right. All right, I'm out of focus. That's fine. But so remember, diphthongs are kind of a bunch of vowels and syllables smushed together. But a vowel with a diphthong is still technically one syllable. But to make it sound natural, you have to kind of go through a wave and smush together a lot of vowels. The best way you'll get this is by noticing it and practicing it. So even if you only split it down into 2 syllables when you're first practicing instead of a whole bunch, start with ah and ah, lie, lie. Actually, that might be better for wow. Yeah, like for wow and noun and round, start with ra, ah, then ah, ra, ah, owned, round. Notice how they come together. Same with night. Na, I eat. I didn't get that Y sound in there. So it's like na, eat, night, night, night. You'll know you're doing it because you make that weird growing or shrinking circle. Night, bright, find. They all kind of start small and end wide. Why, rind. But the diphthong for wow or round kind of gets big, but then it gets small into an O again. Hound, about, around. There's a stereotype of Canadians saying a boot instead of about. It's not really quite like that. It's only some Canadians some of the time. And really, are we going to make fun of that? No, because every accent is beautiful. The American accent is no better than any other accent except a few of them. A few of them are really, really bad. But most of them are just as good as the American accent. And here's the thing. There are, again, here's our wisdom at the end of the lesson. You've learned the lesson. But the wisdom here in the fuzzy focus is that, of this camera I haven't adjusted yet, is that even though there are many types of American accents, the most generic one of all is perhaps the most interesting one to learn, because from it, you can help understand and learn all the others better, including every variety of country and Southern or California or any other accent. But the generic American accent is the best American accent.